Have you ever been stuck in the dreaded getting views but no sales zone in your Etsy shop? Most of us Etsy sellers have been there at one time or another, and it can be the most frustrating thing. So if that's you today, friend, I got you covered. Today I'm sharing 4 actionable steps that you can take to optimize your listings for conversion so that you can start turning those views into consistent sales. I got some good stuff for you today, so keep on watching. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So glad you're here. If you're new, I'm Kate, a wife, a mom to 3 awesome kiddos, an Etsy seller, and a business coach. And I have this channel to help you start and scale your Etsy business to a full-time income so that you can spend more time on what's important in life. Like I said before, today I'm going to be laying out 4 awesome steps that you can take to really optimize your listings to convert and to make sales. I also have 2 bonus pro tips at the end of the video for you that you're not going to want to miss, so make sure to watch it all the way through. I'm super excited to dive in, but first let's hop over to the computer and do our shop shout out of the week.
Congratulations to Bubbles A. Thanks so much for being part of our channel family. Make sure to leave your shop link below so we can check out your shop.
Okay, so today we're talking about how to optimize your listings for conversion. And what I mean by that is optimizing, which is putting all the elements in place necessary for your listing to actually convert from a view into a sale. There's a lot that goes into both getting a view and getting traffic on your listings, which would be heavily influenced by SEO or search engine optimization. But there's also a lot that goes into turning that view into an actual sale. It does no good to get a bunch of eyeballs on your listing if they don't actually ever turn into sales and bring in revenue for your business. So I want you to think about this as sort of a cycle on Etsy, right? So you need to rank in search, which is positioning your SEO in the right place to be actually shown in the search results to lead to a sale, right? You're not going to get any sales if you don't get any views. But you actually need to be making sales to rank higher in search. So the more sales you're making on that listing, the higher it's going to rank in search and the more visible that product is going to be. So it's a cycle. The more sales you make, the higher you rank. The higher you rank, the more eyeballs get on your product and the more potential you have to make sales. So optimizing for conversion doesn't just help your sales volume, it also actually indirectly helps your search ranking. So today I want you to put yourself in your buyer's shoes and kind of imagine through this buyer's journey from first click to purchase. Okay, so the first tip is kind of a combo tip, and that has to do with your main listing photo and your title. The main listing photo and the title work together to get that initial click to stand out from all the other search results and get the buyer to focus in on your listing. Your main listing photo should be the best photo you have of that item. It should be eye-catching and also clearly highlight the item for sale. If it appears dark or not professional, or if there's too much going on in the picture so it's confusing, they're gonna pass right over your listing. Your title should also be very clear and communicate exactly what's being sold. So once they actually click through, remember you have 10 photo slots, and I would recommend that you use all 10 of those photo slots as well as listing video if you have one. So think about it from the buyer's perspective. They can't pick up and touch and feel your item, so the more you can show them through your listing photos, different angles, showing the size, the color, the texture, the materials, every single thing about it, the safer they're gonna feel making the transaction because they feel like they know all about the item. They're not wondering anything. It's also great to include lifestyle photos. These are kind of photos that are aspirational. It shows what they can aspire to. It shows the item being used in real life and helps the buyer imagine how it would fit into their own personal life. Also think about if there's anything that makes your product really unique or special, and if there is, make sure to highlight that through your photos as well. Think of the main listing photo as helping to grab attention and the rest of the photos as closing the sale. The next step is to focus on your description. Your description should be clear and concise and informative and engaging. So the way I like to form my descriptions is to start with a hook. This is a sentence or two that's really going to grab the buyer's attention when they start reading and cause them to be more interested in reading the rest. A lot of times for my hook, I like to steer clear of the really nitty-gritty details, but focus more on painting a picture for the buyer of the experience this item will bring to them. The more you can talk about how this product solves their problem or provides the experience that they're looking for, the more engaged your buyer will be and the more they'll start to imagine it in their own life. So make sure for your hook to use some really good flowy descriptive words and sound really warm and friendly. Then after you've caught their attention with that opening hook, you move on to providing all the details that they need to know about the product. This could be written out in paragraph form, or it could even be a bullet point list that just talks about the size, the dimensions, the color options, the variations, anything that you think they need to know. And I always encourage people at the very bottom bottom of the description to include some links to your other listings. This will help to keep that shopper engaged in your shop for longer and also show them maybe if they've clicked through and they like this product but it's not exactly what they're looking for, some different options for what could be a better fit. Now there's a couple things you want to really take special care with here in your description. Number one is having correct grammar, of course. I know this is not the most exciting thing, but it really does help your shop appear professional. The next thing is to have cohesive and clear sections. So for each of those different things, you may want to have some spaces in between your paragraphs, or you may want to put your headers in all caps, something that makes your description appear organized and really easy to read. And you want to make sure that it's written in your brand's voice. You want to make sure that it doesn't just sound blah, but people can really get your personality coming through. I read in an Etsy article one time a piece of advice that I thought was really great, and that's to photograph your item as if there's no description and write your description as if there's no photographs. This will make the buyer feel super safe, super confident, having all the information, seeing it from all the different angles, and feeling really great about making the purchase. Okay, we're about to move on to tip number 3, but I do want to mention to you that I have a free Etsy success guide if you're a beginner or if you're just wanting to optimize your shop better for consistent sales. It's a whole guide of things that I would recommend for you to focus on to make sure that you're doing the right things to make those sales. So if you're interested in that free download, I'm going to link it right here on the card as well as down in the description box below. Okay, moving on to tip number 3, and that is to look at your price point. The price you have your item at can really make or break the sale when a shopper is comparing it to 1 or 2 other listings that they have narrowed it down to. Bestsellers are usually not the lowest priced item or the highest priced item when you compare to your competitors. So there's 2 things that I would recommend you do when you're trying to find the right price point. Number 1 is to actually look at your competitors, look at similar items that other shops are selling that are actually selling consistently and successfully, and see what price they have their item at. Doesn't mean you have to use exactly the same price, but it'll at least give you a ballpark range of where to start. Another thing you can do is to use the price spread on Sales Samurai. You guys know I love Sales Samurai. It's an awesome tool for Etsy sellers. I'll have it linked below if you're interested in trying it. But on Sales Samurai, you can actually type in a keyword phrase and see the top selling listings for that phrase. You can also see a price spread of the different prices that similar items using that keyword phrase are selling for to get an idea of the range of prices that sellers are using for that keyword phrase. Usually the products that are selling the best are not going to be on the very low end or the very high end. They're going to be somewhere in that middle sweet spot. Now there's a lot that goes into pricing your item beyond this. You want to make sure you're taking into account all of your costs, your overhead, all of that, and pricing it high enough to where you have a healthy profit margin, but you also have to stay competitive. If you're priced way higher than all of the other similar items, your listing is just going to get overlooked. Tip number 4 is to focus on shipping. We're talking both about price and processing times. So research shows that shoppers are 50% less likely to actually complete the transaction if the shipping cost was higher than they expected it to be. So you want to make sure that your shipping price is super competitive and on par with the other shops around you. On your Etsy shipping settings, you can actually choose to offer a free shipping guarantee for orders over $35. I highly recommend you offer this if you can, because buyers a lot of times will order more than one item to reach that free shipping, therefore increasing your average order value. Of course, you can always choose to offer free shipping across the board, which is awesome too. Buyers these days really have come to expect free shipping from most online stores. Just remember, if you do offer free shipping or the free shipping $35 or more guarantee, that you build that cost into your price so you're not losing out on paying for shipping. You also want to make sure that your processing times are reasonable, because buyers also, of course, really want to get their item as quickly as possible. So you want to look at your processing times and try to get those down as much as you can to have a quick turnaround. All right, friends, we're almost ready for our 2 bonus pro tips, but if you're getting value out of this video, consider subscribing to the channel and make sure to turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new video comes out. All right, I'm about to tell you the key to conversion. Are you ready? This is the key to getting your listings to convert, and that is engagement. The longer you can keep that potential buyer engaged in your shop, engaged in your listings, clicking around on the different sections, looking at your photos, the more likely they are to purchase. We're talking about optimizing and building your shop and your listings with things that pique their interest. So things that are gonna help this and help your buyers to stay on your shop and engaged for longer are more photos on each listing, having listing videos, having your about section filled out with your story and your motivation and even behind the scenes pictures, and having your policies filled out with FAQs, returns, exchanges, all of the information that they want to know before they make the purchase. Now, a quick note about having your about section and your policies filled out thoroughly is that actually just by having those on your shop and filled out, Etsy automatically gives you a boost in the search results and in your ranking. So it literally takes 5 to 10 minutes to go on there and fill out both of those sections. You definitely want to do that. And bonus pro tip number 2 is to compare your high versus your low performing listings. The way you're going to want to do this is to go on your Etsy dashboard and click on stats. This will give you all the detailed analytics of which of your listings are your best sellers, the ones that are performing consistently, and which ones are on the lower end and maybe not making any sales. You want to really look objectively at your high performing listings and see if there's any element of your listing or anything that you can replicate and use to improve your low performing listings. I love the stats section of the Etsy dashboard because it really helps you as a seller to know what's working and what might not be. The more you can dig into your analytics and be objective and use that information to make your shop and your products better, the better off you'll be in terms of making sales. Okay, friends, well, hopefully that was helpful for you. Don't forget to download your free Etsy success guide by clicking the link below. And if you're interested in learning some tips on how to grow fast, if you're just starting Etsy or if you're wanting to grow your Etsy shop, you can click or tap on the square on the screen right now and it'll take you to my video on how to grow fast on Etsy. Bye, friends.